Order, Honorable Ngogoyo. You know the procedure. You remain on your seat until you are given an opportunity. That's when you stand up. You can't be so presumptuous that whenever you want to speak, you will speak. What's your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on Standing Order 216. Mr. Speaker, Standing Order 216-2 provides that a member appointed to a departmental committee at the commencement of a parliament at any other time during the term of parliament shall, unless the House resolves otherwise, serve for the term of the parliament, subject to Standing Order 217. Mr. Speaker, Standing Order 176. Standing Order 176, Mr. Speaker, provides the criteria, Mr. Speaker, of the discharge of a member from a committee. Mr. Speaker, I have been a member of the Departmental Committee on Energy, Forestry and Mining. Standing Order 176 provides that a party may discharge a member from a select committee after the member has been accorded an opportunity. Number two, it provides that the party whip of the party that nominates a member to a select committee shall give notice in writing to the Speaker with the intention of discharging that member from that select committee. And number three, most important, the Speaker shall, within 3 days of receipt of the notice under paragraph 2, inform the member. Mr. Speaker, I am a member of the Departmental Committee on Energy or on Environment. And Mr. Speaker, if I have been removed, the standing orders provide that 176 shall apply on Standing Order 216. It is even written there. Mr. Speaker, you cannot remove a member from a committee. I am not in the list on the Committee on Environment, Forestry and Mining, which I was nominated to at the beginning of this parliament. Mr. Speaker, even if Ichungwah does not want me in this committee, you must remove me procedurally. Give me a hearing, notify the Speaker to give me a notice. Mr. Speaker, it will not be in order to continue with whatever is happening here, because it is okay to remove me. It is within the procedure and rules. These standing orders, Mr. Speaker, you are one of the creators of these standing orders. I have used them for the last 12 years. I was a whip of a county assembly, so I know how to use standing orders. You cannot remove me without, I need letters written to me. Accord me a hearing. After according me a hearing, now give notice to the Speaker. The Speaker will tell me within 3 days, you cannot remove me in the morning. I have been a member of this committee and I cannot remove in the manner in which you want to remove me. However powerful you might be, Mr. Speaker, it is not correct. Whatever has been tabled before this House, Mr. Speaker, is kangaroo, it is null and void, it cannot operate because they are standing orders and the procedure and rules of this House, the traditions. When Mheshimiwa Kimani Ichungwah, when several honorable members were de-whipped from committees, the Honorable Wangwe, who is the immediate former whip, wrote letters to specific members. And apart from that, the communications were done directly to the Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I cannot be removed from and the Speaker cannot oversee my removal from a committee, a departmental committee, without me being discharged by my political party. And Mr. Speaker, because you are the Solomon of this House, kindly do not proceed with this motion in the state that it is, and it will be a procedural wrong. This is the making of Kimani Ichungwah, which cannot work in this assembly. Thank you very much.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, the member for Kajiado North is my very good friend, and he served as a member of the County Assembly of Kajiado. And he has clearly read out to us the standing order. I will choose to ignore the invocation of the name Kimani Ichungwah, which is now a spot for those who have nothing else to speak about. They can only speak about Kimani Ichungwah, and I know why he's trying to invoke my name. But I will restrict myself to the provisions of the standing orders. The standing orders, Honorable Speaker, make it clear unless otherwise resolved by the House. Therefore, I would implore on the member for Kajiado North, other than carelessly invoking the name of Kimani Ichungwah, who is not the majority whip, because the majority whip is called Honorable Silvanus Osoro. Other than doing that, he should be spending his time now convincing the House to resolve otherwise. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, invoking the name of Kimani Ichungwah to look popular out there, my friend, go and do those things in the County Assembly of Kajiado, not in the National Assembly. Spend your time in the National Assembly discussing matters of greater importance to the people of Kajiado North, who are suffering without roads, whose children cannot even go to school because their member of parliament is busy following people in some other village somewhere. Why don't you follow members of your constituency in their own constituency addressing their issues? I will not allow, Honorable Speaker, any member to use my name or invoke my name to try and seek cheap publicity. Our standing orders are very clear, and our Ngogoyo should know that. Deal with matters to do with your constituents. And there is also some levels of insatiable greed that we cannot be able to satisfy as a House. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, the issue raised is simple. Let the Honorable Ngogoyo convince members of this House to resolve otherwise. Otherwise, the standing order, as he read, is very well, is in very simple language that even a member of our county assembly can be able to interpret.
Osoro. Osoro.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, when I moved this particular motion, I did indicate that coming up with a list of committees in any particular committee, Honorable Speaker, is not very easy. The movement of one to the other affects another. And it is by...
Address the issue he has raised. It's very simple.
That is where I'm heading to, Honorable Speaker. I'm making my case.
Yes.
I'm making my case that the movement of one member to another committee must affect the other, because there are issues of regional balance, there are issues of gender, there are issues of party, Honorable Speaker. I am actually not aware, and I'm now checking, that the particular committee that he intended to be included, or rather he has been serving, Honorable Speaker, his name is missing. Then it must be placed somewhere for that list, Honorable Speaker.
Take your seat.
But even with that...
Take your seat. Take your seat. I expected you as a good lawyer to be listening. The Honorable Ngogoyo is raising an objection under Standing Order 176 on the allegation of discharge of a member from the committee. He is clearly out of order. What is before the House is a reconstitution of committees, is not discharge of members from any committee. If you looked at your standing orders very well, we are dealing with reconstitution of committees, and it's up to the House to resolve that the list brought by the whips is voted for in the affirmative, whereafter committees will be reconstituted, or voted on in the negative, whereafter I'll send them back to the drawing board to reconstitute the committees. When a member is singularly or with another discharged from a committee, that will then come in a separate form, and I'll address it when it does come. So you're out of order. Order, Ngogoyo. Yes, Kiamba, is that Kiamba?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I have a point to express in relation to the committees. Last time, some of us never got departmental committees. We went to the chairs concerned, we explained, and even up to now, we have not gotten departmental committee. I find this very marginalizing and not even having an altar of accountability. When you take some members as second-class members of parliament, even when we've made official requests, and you are maintained, you don't have a substantial departmental committee for 2 consecutive times. I mean, is that with the fairness, what people sat down and really, and even some people are more than 2 departmental committees. I think, Honorable Speaker, I'm not here by accident. I'm here by design, and I'm here representing people who need to hear my voice in areas which matters. So I think that needs to be considered. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Ondo.
Chair, I have keenly listened.
Address the Speaker.
Yes, Speaker.
Yes.
I've keenly listened to the sentiment raised by members. I've also keenly listened to presentation by the majority whip. And the Honorable Chair was in the issue
Honorable
of...
Speaker.
Sorry, Speaker. Honorable yes. Speaker, yes. I just hope and pray that the statement made by the majority whip on the issue of appointment of chairs and vice chairs is a true statement not meant for the public gallery. Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament are here by design, having been elected by their people. When they go to those committees, we do hope and pray, Honorable Speaker, that in your wisdom and in your good guidance to this House, do not attempt or do not permit, where issues are raised, allow the members to exercise democratic right, elect their leadership without interference from other quarters. I do want to believe and trust it has gone unanswered, would have no other interference from any other quarter.
Undo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Undo, the Speaker has no role in the election of chairs of committees. The dynamics I've been in this space for quite some time. And when you go to committees, you have your vote. You're also subject to your whipping. You are subject to the dynamics of your coalitions, the dynamics in your parties. And I want to encourage you to leave the Speaker out of this, because this is about the various coalitions and parties in the House. Even the point raised by the distinguished member for Kiamba, you are for Kilome or Mboni? Makwiny. In the House Business Committee sits your team leader from Wiper Party, who is also the deputy leader of the minority party in the Azimio coalition. And he is satisfied with the composition of the committees. So take the argument that you have proposed back to them and let them listen to you. As it is now, this list was approved by House Business Committee, in which sits all your leadership, majority leader and his whip, minority leader and his whip, and your team leader within the enclave of Wiper. They have passed this in the House Business Committee. Now that the matter has come to the floor, you have only 2 options: to resolve to approve the list, or to resolve to reject the list. If you do, then your leaders will go back to the drawing board and readjust and refresh and reflect on why the motion has been negatived. But as it is now, the Speaker cannot sit on appeal here. Just like the good point raised by Honorable Ngogoyo, he's raised a good point in a wrong forum. That issue, Honorable Ngogoyo, is if you have been discharged wrongly from a committee, and what is before the House is not a discharge, it's a reconstitution of committees, then I'll listen to you and look at the provisions of Standing Order 176 and give you the due process that you deserve. But as it is now, it is neither here nor there. Yes, Makalimulu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, just as you have said, some of us have also been in this space for some time, and I want to say really I'm not complaining. For me, a committee is a committee, and once you are there, you serve. But I think there are some facts, we must put them on record, so that as we go to the future, they will inform this House. Honorable Speaker, when the whip was moving this motion, the only thing he didn't mention was that there was a consideration because we have a broad-based government now. That was also considered, Honorable Speaker. Why am I saying it was considered? Honorable Speaker, I've been a member of public debt. I've been the first chair of that committee for the last 2.5 years. And us as WIPA, we did agree that our members should remain in their respective committees without any movement. And I'm sure my party leader, my leader in the House, Honorable Mbui, that must have been the position. But as you can see, Honorable Speaker, I've been moved to another committee, and I have no complaints. I will serve there faithfully, I can tell you, Honorable Speaker. But I want leaders here to learn. The majority leader of this House in the 12th Parliament was my chairman in the Budget and Appropriation Committee. And because of these political considerations, he was moved to other committees. And I thought this year, you would take this opportunity and make sure that members are not punished for relating the different individuals, Honorable Speaker. So, even though we don't want to say it, the truth of the matter, Honorable Speaker, is if we want this House to move to the next level in terms of democracy, we must allow members of this House to be in committees as they request. It is very unfortunate you find our members to departmental committees, Honorable Speaker. Some of us are in two select committees. And I thought if they were to remove me from public debt, they should have given me a departmental committee so that I also have a chance to serve in a departmental committee. But you realize, Honorable Speaker, I'm moving from a select committee to another select committee, Honorable Speaker. So as I said, I'm not complaining, Honorable Speaker, and I will serve there faithfully, but all said and done, Honorable Speaker. Makali Mulu was a PhD in economics, and I thought I would serve better in public debt than I would serve in regional integration, Honorable Speaker. I don't want to go beyond that, Honorable Speaker. I will be voting for the motion, yes, but I want that to go on record on that matter.
Thank you, Honorable Bakali Mulu. You have put it on record. Again, it's a good point being prosecuted in the wrong forum. Because that point should be prosecuted in the court of Robert Mbuya and Millie Odhiambo and Junet Mohammed, not before the Speaker. Order, honorable members on their feet, take your seats. Bowen, take your seat. Today you are very, very mobile. What is the problem? Take your seat. The members standing at the back. Honorable members, since all I've been hearing are lamentations are not contributions to the motion, allow me to put the question at order number 9, which is that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 175 and further to the resolution of the House on 27 October 2022, this House approves the appointment of members to the respective committees of the House as specified in the schedule to the supplementary order paper for 5th March 2025 afternoon sitting, subject to the amendment at page 165, where the Honorable Orero Peter Ocheng MP, appearing at number 16, is replaced by the Honorable Irene Mayaka. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, having passed that, you are obligated in the committees that have been reconstituted to elect leadership, chair and vice chairs, within 7 days. So this must be done on or before Wednesday next week. Tomorrow by 8 in the morning, the clerk is directed to release a schedule of meetings of the various committees so that you can be able to observe that schedule and meet as directed in the rooms directed with the clerk and his team superintending over the election of the leadership of the committees. So be on the lookout for the communication to that, the select committees. Secondly, Honorable Millie Odhiambo was sufficiently clear in her contribution that where there are gaps, order members, that where there are gaps or there are issues to be addressed like the one of Ngogoyo, Makali Mula and so on, it is work in progress. You can go back to your caucuses, to your leadership. You will be listened to. If they find merit in what you raise, then they will be able to discharge one member for another, as in the case of Ngogoyo, or do whatever replacements which they can bring to the notice of the Speaker, and as and when they come, we'll give them due process. So take this as work in progress, because these are dynamic processes. From time to time, we lose members to death, to court processes, and so on. And others have to come and replace them in those positions. So it's directed so. By tomorrow morning, the clerk's schedule will be out, and start organizing yourselves to elect your leadership. Finally, the chair of every committee or vice chair is elected in accordance with the dynamics that you all know. So go on and elect and give us leadership that will help this house. And those who will be elected chairs of committees and vice chairs, I beseech you, be the first to create quorum in the house at all times. To whom more is given, much more is expected. Those who are given that privilege to lead committees, be the first to arrive in the house, be the last to leave the house. Like I did tell you, you are truly here in my many years. The Speaker always found me in the chamber, and I followed the Speaker out of the chamber every single working day. And Honorable Kainan is my witness to this. Please try and give this house quorum to work. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 10, motion, consideration of the